Good morning, I hope you're doing very well.
Good morning.
There's Poppy with the biscuit. We just thought we'd go for a little walk, a little morning walk. We were supposed to get up at 7, got up at 8, no dramas. This video is something that some people have actually wanted. It was on my Instagram. I posted the raw sound design of a reel that I did for a soda company. And basically it did really well. People really liked it. They really liked how the sound design was all artificial and how it sounds like super crisp. So today I thought we would run through how I do the sound design for my next B-roll. In fact, it's this one right here. We're going to run through the sound design, how I made all the sounds, didn't make them, got them off of Epidemic Sounds. I've got to say, I have to apologise, my hair looks like a flipping cauliflower, mate. I don't know what it is, it's my head shape, it's shaped like a broccoli and it really upsets me. It's a lovely day today, it's very frosty though.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly.
It's a bit chill. My hairs are slightly frosted. Let's go back to the office and then go from there. Right, hello, we are back at El Gaffy. Let's crack on with this video. It's going to be a shorter video, it's really just taking you through the process of how I go about my sound design when I make these B-roll segments, because I don't use a mic, so all of these sounds are completely artificial. Is that the right word? I don't know. All done in post. So every single sound that you hear in my B-roll clips up till now, there's been no organic original sound coming from the shoot. I use a company called Epidemic Sounds. I pay a monthly subscription. That's predominantly who I use for my sounds. All the sounds from this, apart from the transition whooshes, are Epidemic Sounds. All of the transition risers, transition whooshes is all from a package that I bought from Ryan Nangle, which is, he's on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen him if you're into filming. Let's dive right in. I've got it right here. I've got it set up. There's no music. It's just pure sound design right now. I'm going to play it for you now so you can have a look at it on the timeline. Dyson Airwrap video, which I put on TikTok, and it's clocking in at 300,000 views, which is just mental to me. I don't understand how that's even happened, but we're here, it's happened. I'm just gonna ride it and I'm gonna make more. So if you've got TikTok, give me a follow. It's just Elliot Stevens, I think. The goal of this video today, it's not so much how I go about where I put the sounds, it's what, like the sort of sounds that I put in, they might not be your original idea of what the sound would be, if that makes sense. A good example is, for instance, the gun cocking. So I've got a gun cocking here and it sounds like this. That is literally a gun reloading. I used it because your mind puts it together and it just goes. It's like attaching and attach in and we're ready to go. So it's building that story. Sound design does have its own story and it has its own way of bringing the whole project together. Like for instance, this bit here, if I was to just mute all of these, this bit, that sound, you would not even believe it. This sound here, if I stretch this out, you might even be able to read it. Movement serial 1, and I just reversed the clip because I was trying to find something that sounded like texture, like someone picking something up. That there is like a velvet type fabric, and I tried to find something that was like fabric type. It's hard sounds to get, so you just have to just use your imagination. And I just came across, I just typed in texture, because on Epidemic Sounds you type in keywords and it will come up with relevant sounds for you. So I did that, and I found serial, and at first, this is the original clip. So it's like cornflakes or something like that, basically being moved around in a bowl. So what I did was I put it down to the bit that I wanted. I only wanted a little bit. I then slowed down that clip, basically did 50% slower, so it sounds a little bit more like rather than like that. What I did after that was then reversed the clip, just because I just thought that sounded a little bit better. It didn't sound as crunchy, if you know what I mean. So it sounded like almost a bit like polystyrene, but when it's in the loop with everything else, I personally thought it really did go. This bit here at the very beginning, if you'll be able to hear here, the birds. That there. The reason why I did that is because you look around, you can see the outdoors, but then at the same time, you can see the flowers in the background. The colour tones and the way that I've done the colour grade is sort of, you know, autumnal. I just thought that really just brought out like a forest vibe, and I really wanted it to have that sort of, you know, something in the background. So I thought that was really cool. And then the rest, as you can hear, it's just whooshes, going from transition to transition. I try and use different ones every time. There's a few repetitive ones in there, but one thing I do stress, and I did it when I first started, and I'm still, you know, right at the gate when it comes to filmmaking. Gates opened, and I'm about 5 meters ahead, literally, so I'm still learning. One thing I did used to do is I used to have 4 sound effects and just use the same 4 sound effects on the whole project. And I don't recommend that, if I'm being honest. Try and switch it up. Sometimes you do find that one sound effect, that one whoosh, for instance, whoosh 5. That one there is a really nice whoosh. But the thing is, and I have used it, I think, more than once in here. Yeah, I've definitely used whoosh 10 a few times on here, and that's just one of the whooshes in that Ryan Angle pack. You just go check it out. It's a great pack, and it's really cheap as well. For instance, for this bit here, this is a riser from the Ryan Angle kit. This here, I wanted something punchy for when she opens up the box to lift up, and then it goes into the next shot. So what I basically did is I was playing around with some risers, and I wanted it to be like that, and then I came across this sound, and it sounded like, I don't know, it reminds me of Splinter Cell. I don't know if you've ever played the game Splinter Cell, and he has a night vision, and it makes that sound, and it's like a night vision sound. If you hear here, if you were to play that to me now, that does not sound anything like opening up a Dyson box. But it just goes with the story. I just thought it fit. It was like, leveling up, like as you're opening up like a really sort of, I don't know, some sort of sci-fi box. It gives it that real sort of feel with the music in the background, upbeat tune. I just thought this sounded super cool. I really like that one. When I put that in, I was like, yes. And no one questions it because it just goes with the narrative. I don't know, I don't understand why. I think it just sounds cool. The amount of sounds that I put in my videos and they just don't go, and it's just back to the drawing board, but that's totally fine. That's totally fine to do. But then there's some sounds, for instance this one, that just go. They just go with it, and it worked for that one. It might not work. That is probably the only clip that would ever work for me. And it did, so I stuck it in. But just play around, have a mess around. There's one clip here, which I thought was really cool, is it goes into the next shot and then I slow it down. And to really emphasize on the clip slowing down, I muffled the hair drying clip. As you can see here, right there, this clip here, this is a muffled clip. And the reason being is because it slows down. So I'm gonna play it to you, and then if you listen closely, you can see I've overlapped the normal sound of the hairdryer with the muffled sound. It sounds a bit like this. And there's a whoosh in there as well, I forgot to mute that one. The way that I do that basically is you just cut the clip. Once you've cut the clip, it will be like this. You then bring it just a little bit further, and then you just bring that, you know what, I'm not even gonna get technical because I can't remember what it is, that little ball, and you bring it across where the sound gradually comes in, and then you do the same on the other side. So it's gonna be like this, and then you do the same on the other side, like that. So it sounds like, so it's almost it's a sound transition in itself. So it doesn't sound really blocky, because if it was to sound, if you were to just do that, do muffled, it would sound like this basically. Yeah. Not ideal. Incorporate risers when you can, like this is a riser that I use. So for instance, with this one, it sounded like it sounded like a hairdryer, basically coming into the hairdryer segment of the video. So if you see there, it rised up into the hairdryer rather than the hairdryer just coming in randomly. So it was like a riser. Make sure you've got some good packs. Like I said, you can hit up Epidemic Sounds. They've got loads of sounds, non-copyrighted stuff across the board, so you're not going to get into any altercation there. And also, there's some packs from some great creators like Ryan Nangle, but there's loads of people that do packs. So sound design, I believe, is the key to a crisp, very crisp video. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a great week. Yeah, I will speak to you soon. Love you.